According to Roughnecks captain Eli Salama, the loss to Georgia was a blip on the radar, and it's in the past. While the Rush and Captain Ryan Keenan are firmly on everyone's radar as the top team in the NLL. Buckle up, it's round 2 of the Battle of the Prairies. Welcome to Treaty 7 territory here on Turtle Island as the NLL Game of the Week returns to Calgary for another installment of Rush and Roughnecks. Saskatchewan is the talk of the NLL right now with a free-flowing offense and relentlessness out the back door. And even though Calgary's season hasn't gone the way they'd hoped, maybe some home cooking is in order for the Roughnecks. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, ladies and gentlemen. The Western crew is back together for the first time this year. My name's Teddy Jenner. He is Brad Chowner. We'll talk to Chantal Chan momentarily. But Brad, we spoke with Josh Sanderson, head coach of the Roughnecks this week, and he expects his team to come out firing early and often. Yeah, the start of this season is all about defining new roles for this Calgary Roughnecks offense. Tanner Cook, one of the best power forwards in the game, now a lefty facilitator for this team. He's stretching defenses out with a good outside shot to start this season. And Tyler Pace, we know he's a good passer with his ridiculous shooting percentage to start the season. They want him to shoot the ball more, get a little bit more alpha out of Tyler Pace. But when this offense is at its best, Hayden Dixon is cutting hard off ball, slicing and dicing, macheting his way through the middle. When he's running downhill at full speed, almost unstoppable. And they need to rely on his depth tonight to get one over the Saskatchewan Rush, their rivals. The Roughnecks offense is going to need depth, especially for Matthew Gauthier, still without his first goal of the season. But Hayden Dixon is playing well, and he's down with Chantal.
Hayden, talking to Coach Sanderson, he's talked about how offensively you guys have to do it by committee. You've been stepping up. Talk to me a little bit about your play so far this season.
I mean, it's been pretty good. A lot of guys get me open, and I get other guys open, and yeah, I just move the ball, and this is a team effort. Obviously, you guys want to bounce back from the Georgia game. What's been the message from Coach? Just keep going. I mean, like, we're losing one-goal games. We just got to get that next effort and get wins. That's all we got to do. Obviously, rivalry game tonight. Sask is one of the best teams in the league. What do you have to do to win this game? We're just going to work hard and get the result we want. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Dixon, the 8th overall pick in 2019, hopes his team can get the first goal and have the Rush start chasing them. Now, speaking of the Rush, this is a team, as we mentioned, 6-1, best team in the National Lacrosse League. They have great offense, great defense and goaltending, but transition is where they make their money. Yeah, it's the rodeo grounds here, and these horses were built to run for the Saskatchewan Rush. Their offense is a well-oiled green machine to start this season, but when they're getting contribution out of the back 8, that is when this team absolutely thrives. 5 members of their defensive unit have found the back of the net, 4 of them on multiple occasions. They're averaging 3 goals a game in transition. That's going to boost any offense on any given night. They like to control the pace of a game, and it's guys like Messenger, Barnable, and Boudreau who can push the pace and really control tempo in any game that they step onto the floor. Last time these two teams, Boudreau scored the opening goal of the game just 12 seconds in. Ryan Barnable helps out as well. This team is deep, and everyone has the green light to run. You can just see it there, and those guys have scored, but everyone is able to push the tempo for head coach Jimmy Quinlan. Ryan Barnable is down the floor with Chantal.
Ryan, when it comes to the defensive transition, you guys have been rolling. 5 players on the defense have goals. Talk to me a little bit about the chemistry on that transition.
Yeah, it just starts with Frankie making big stops and us running as a group, making smart decisions, and it's just been hitting the net for us, so it's working out well.
You guys are at the top team at the standings right now. Calgary has been struggling. This is a rivalry, though. What are you expecting from them tonight?
Yeah, this league records don't really matter. It's a battle every weekend, and we're going to give it our best effort tonight, and it's always fun playing here and against them, so we're going to give it our best.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Barnable drafted 8th overall back in 2021, had a career-high 13 loose balls against Calgary last year. 2 teams at opposite end of the standings, but that won't mean there's any less hatred between these 2 longtime rivals. It's Rush and Roughnecks as we celebrate the Creators Game. NLL Friday Night on TSN is brought to you in part by STX Lacrosse and Nike Lacrosse, official equipment providers of the NLL. By TFL Sports, collect the stars of the NLL with officially licensed trading cards and sticker albums. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. slowly arriving here at the arena. Should be a fantastic game between these two long-time rivals. Calgary at the bottom of the standings at 1-5. Saskatchewan all the way at the top at 6-1. It's not often that these two teams are opposite ends of the standings, but we have that here tonight. And let's find out more on this game down between the benches. Chantel Chan.
If you take a look at those standings, it's been a tale of two different stories for the Rush and the Roughnecks. And I had a chance to talk to Jimmy Quinlan, and he said that he felt like during the preseason, they actually stunk. He didn't really like the way that they played, but he said that they finally found their identity. As for the Roughnecks, Coach Sanderson said when they play with a competitive edge, they're grittier, and that's what he wants to see from them tonight. Also, that they just have to protect home floor, guys.
Thank you, Chantel. Time now for your starting goaltenders. We take a look at Josh Sanderson, head coach of the Calgary Roughnecks. There's Frank Chiliano, reigning goaltender of the year. Comes in with a 7.9 save percentage, 9.72 goals against, 11-4 all-time against Calgary. At the other end, it is the youngster, Aiden Walsh. Didn't have his best outing against Georgia a couple weeks ago. He looks to rebound with a better outing here tonight, 0-3 versus the Rush at all time. Big battle at the face-off dot here, Brad. Justin Anasio and Jake Naso. Should be a good one at the face-off dot. Brett Colomb will get us started. Calgary, Saskatchewan, one of the best rivalries in the NLL, and we are underway. And Anasio wins the draw right to a teammate. It's Riley Isaacs who's in. Griffin Hall activated back in the lineup here for Calgary. Noah Manning is out, as is Bennett Smith. And Calgary looking to get a hot start. Josh Sanderson said they play better when they are in front and making teams chase them. Here's Tanner Cook. Watched by Boudreau. Cook, double team comes from Messenger. Ball knocked down early. Messenger had it for a second. Late in the 30. And a good defensive set there by Saskatchewan as they get a shot off. They'll say it's a goal. And I don't know if this was after the 30 or not. Jimmy Quinlan right to the replay tablet.
Yeah, this is lacrosse, not baseball, as Maya looked to bat one in to start this game, which you cannot do. You need to have control of that in your stick. We'll get a look here on TSM, but a bit of a scrambly play. And I think Maya might have a case for this to stand. I don't think we'll see a flag from Jimmy Quinlan. And the Roughnecks, who wanted a hot start, wanted this crowd on their side, get exactly what their coach asked for.
Maya gets his first of the game and give him 9 on the season. I thought Jimmy Quinlan was going to challenge that one, but maybe didn't have a good, clear shot of the shot clock. But Josh Sanderson got what he wanted, an early start. And his team leads 1-0.
Yeah, they felt that they really started strong against Georgia. They hit some pipes early, their offense was flowing, and then they fell down 4-0 and kind of got discouraged when the ball wasn't dropping. Clearly working here tonight.
Hot rod, Riley Lowen, and Calgary's up 2-0 early here on Saskatchewan, just 57 seconds in.
You asked for depth, they got some depth. Maya and Lowen open the scoring here in the first 57 seconds. And Riley Lowen, you don't have to see a little one-on-one jab step from him to split into the middle, but Gauthier does a good job clearing some real estate out of the way. And the oldest member of this Calgary offense puts his team up 2-0.
It's his second stint with Calgary. 55 games played now, and give him 54 goals as a member of the Roughnecks. And that's his 7th of the season. A hot start here for Josh Sanderson's club. And procedure called on Ignacio. And Saskatchewan will get their first real offensive set here. First time they've had possession.
And conversely for the Saskatchewan Rush, they felt that they have given up some bad goals to start quarters and to end quarters, so they're not off to their great start.
Levi Anderson tried to jam it 5-hole. Good take there by the Alberta product. Now quickly running is Calgary. Here's Follows. Wait up at the restraining line. Pass it back to the opening goal scorer, Braden Maillet. Boudreau way out to challenge him. Now Lowen. Good step up there by Barnable. Barnable caused the turnover. He's going to run. Here comes that transition game. Barnable, one more, and unable to handle that was Hossack. And he goes through the crease, but an early opportunity on the run for Saskatchewan.
You've seen Messenger already pick off a pass, and Barnable there. That's what this Rush defense will do. You sit back and wait for a ball to land in your stick.
Cook to Lowen. Maé fakes it, gets inside. Oh, and had Chiliano on his toes. Just put it off the target. Cook with the rebound. Late in the shot clock, 10 to go. Cook from deep, bouncer off target. And this one will go over and back center. And quickly trying to run onto it as Messenger, but he'll let it go for the whistle. And just over 2 minutes gone here in the opening quarter. Thanks for joining us here on TSN. Opening game here of week 10. Only one other game on the schedule tonight. It'll be later tonight down in San Diego. Here's Robert Church. Carries high off the pick from Haley. Far side, Keenan. Jab step, watched by Hendricks. Shot, oh, through Walsh, off the pipe. Rebound, another great save by Aiden Walsh. Those are two big saves for the Calgary netminder to get him comfortably into this lacrosse game.
The red light was flashing behind Walsh, too. We'll see if the Rush want to look and see if that maybe bounced in. But Ryan Keenan's stick stays hot as he almost gets his team on the board here.
Here's Mans now. Watched by Hendricks. 10 on the shot clock. Haley from deep. That hit a body in front up the leg of Eli Salama and up and out of play. So a fresh 30 again here for the Rush offense. Trying to take advantage of a tired Calgary defense. Church, watched by Lady. Carries across the top to Mans. Mans across the top. Nice save there by Walsh. Lady with the loose ball.
That's an important defensive stand. The first real settled set from the Saskatchewan Rush. They get a reset on the play, too. And Calgary stands the ground. Walsh with a save and good defensive stand to open the game for the Calgary Roughnecks. That's what they wanted.
Cook on the run through a screen. Easily saved by Chiliano. Loose ball picked up quickly up ahead. Hossack. Hossack gives it off to Zawada. The speedster Jimmy Quinlan has known since middle school when he moved up to Alberta from Raleigh, North Carolina. Church, inside pass was just behind his man, and you're going to call loose ball interference on Saskatchewan. So, sorry, on Calgary. Possession will stay with the Rush.
Yeah, so a chance to swap out a couple bodies, get some fresh legs out, and work the ball around, settled again, offense.
No Clark Walter in the lineup tonight for Saskatchewan. Levi Anderson factors into the O. Here's Zawada. Into the corner, Haley. Skip pass, Anderson. Shot on the run, good save there by Walsh as he kept it between the legs. And that's a good shot by Anderson, trying to catch Walsh moving his feet.
Yeah, that's what Anderson will bring to this offense. A one-on-one matchup. He liked it against Isaac. Little juke, stutter step to take that shot and get Walsh moving.
Lowen. Maé lost his footing in the middle. Pace back to Lowen. Maé slow to get to his feet. 10 on the shot clock. Lowen. Pace. Gets his screen. Trying to find one extra man. That pass goes off target. In possession to Mike Messenger.
Good opportunities. Hayden Dixon was wide open cutting, but Pace just couldn't get a decent pass off with Holden Garland staying on him like a shadow.
Shanks. Oh, hit the inside of the pipe and stayed out. Good floater there from Austin Shanks. But Walsh's skinny red friend bailed him out. Here's Anderson to Keenan on the far side. Hendricks matches up with him. Keenan, roll back to Anderson, gets a pick from Mans. Trying to swim. Good defense there by Salama. Even better defense by Hendricks. Loose ball in the corner. Anderson still with it. Skip pass, Church. Twister, save Walsh, loose ball Lady. Man, this Calgary defense looking sharp early in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're come to play tonight. That was great help by Eli Salama to smother Anderson in the far corner. There was still plenty of time on the shot clock, and then Walsh does his job making a save here to keep it 2-0.
Cook trying to work a two-man game with Gauthier. Shot just missed on the short side. He gets his own rebound. 10 on the shot clock. Double team comes, backhand pass to McIntyre, who's seen his first action of the season. And that loose ball going to be picked up by Saskatchewan in their own zone. Boudreau will bring it across center. Boudreau and Barnable drafted back-to-back back in 2021. And they're the future of this Rush defense. Here's Shanks to Mans. Heavy shot blocked. No one knows where it is. It's on the turf.
Soaked by Griffin Hall and just dropped to his feet.
And Hall back in the lineup after missing since the first game of the season. They're happy to have the big man from Victoria back in the lineup. 6'5" out of Victoria, drafted 24th by Vegas a few years ago. Inside, Pace couldn't handle the pass, took a cross check on the back. Here's Gauthier. Still looking for his first of the season. Got to get a shot off, and he will, and it's blocked by the good defense of Hossack, and that'll take us to our first break. Calgary jumped out in the first minute to a 2-goal lead. They've been holding on to it ever since. Saskatchewan trying to claw their way back, but it's been Calgary early and often here on TSN. The city of Calgary is situated on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, and all people who make their home in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. The NLL and TSN acknowledge all nations, Indigenous and non, who live, work, and play on this land, and who honor and celebrate this territory. 8:20 to go here in the opening quarter, Brad. Calgary leading it 2-0, but not for lack of chances by the Rush.
Yeah, Saskatchewan not happy with allowing goals in the first minutes of quarters, and they allowed 2 to Calgary, then fired back with a couple pipes, though, as Aiden Walsh stands tall. Not a lot of space there for Austin Shanks as he nailed the pipe, and Robert Church hit one early, too. So the posts 0, Calgary 2.
Shot 7-3 in favor of the Rush, but as Brad mentioned, trailing 2-0. Here comes Levi Anderson. To Keenan. Roll back to Mans. Watch there by Salama. Back to Keenan on his wrong side. He'll take the shot. Shoulder save there by Walsh. That was one area they had a lot of success in the first time these two teams played. Guys shooting on their off wing, and Walsh was struggling with them, but so far tonight, been crystal clear. Now Shank's gonna drive, trying a cheeky short side bouncer, and Walsh was able to hold on to the pipe. Up across the floor, Leclerc will give it to Tanner Cook from Curtis, Ontario. 2020 draft pick, 5th overall. Near side of the corner, Gauthier to Pace. One more inside. Cook scores! What a handle! In tight. And Brad, you mentioned it. This Calgary team is very successful when they get to the interiors of the defense, and Tanner Cook did just that for his first of the game.
Yeah, they work so well off ball. When you've got these power forwards like Hayden Dixon and Tanner Cook running downhill, almost impossible to stop. And this is great handle by Tyler Pace on the feed for Tanner Cook to grab that and finish strong. Great start here for the Calgary Roughnecks. 4 shots on goal, 3 have beaten Frank Sciliano, the barn that he started his career in.
Cook averaging 3.5 points a game versus the Calgary versus Saskatchewan. And we mentioned the face-off duel between Ignacio and Naso, and there's just how close they are. When these two teams met earlier this year, Jake Naso didn't play, but the only other time these two guys have faced off against each other was last year, and Naso won that one handily with 75% of the draws.
They played in different conferences in college, so they were definitely not familiar with each other, didn't get a taste of anything until that first game last year. And both teams obviously valuing possession, and Saskatchewan really attributing Naso's play to opening things up for them to start this season.
Yeah, and it's definitely given a break for Mike Messenger as well, which has helped him become the monster two-way player that he is. Now here's Brock Haley. Anderson back to Haley. Drives down the alley, flip back, Zawada, one more, Anderson. 10 on the shot clock, heavy one, goes just wide of the far side pipe. Good two-hand grab there by Josh Sanderson. Colomb, Ferguson, Kitashima, and the legend Ron Getz is your shot clock operator, your officials tonight. Now here's Cook, has the 3-0 goal. Keeps driving, and a good save there by Sciliano. That shot crossed him up, and loose ball batted free. Who's gonna come away with it? And a big heavy chop there from Cook on McClellan, and the bounce pass to Messenger. Saskatchewan will be able to clear center. Church. Now Austin Shanks was a monster for Saskatchewan in their playoff run last year. The most clutch players in the playoffs in the NLL. There's Keenan, one more. Mans tried to cross the hands and go twister far side. Couldn't put it on target. They get the rebound, shot blocked by Griffin Hall. And again, this Calgary defense.
Yeah, they welcome that size and athleticism of Griffin Hall back in the lineup. That's 2 soaks already by my count for the lanky number 6. It just takes up a lot of real estate down on the floor. Tough to shoot through a body of that stature.
And if we are going to give him 2 blocks, he's now got a career high. Go chase shot, save Chiliano, loose ball. Maye knocked down in the crease. Aiden Dixon was a little forecheck pressure. Now up the floor is Bobby Kidd III. BK3 going to stay in play. It'll work with Zawada here on the near side. Inside feed to Anderson. He tried to go far side, short side. And again, Aiden Walsh. 10 shots, 10 saves.
Yeah, he's a motivated goaltender after the tough outing in Edmonton. He played great here against Vancouver a couple weeks ago.
Cook missed the far side. Ball bounced towards center. Pace couldn't handle it. Being picked up by Boudreau, and he's going to run. Jake Boudreau, shot off the post. That's 4 saves for the Pipes. Calgary the other way. Slow changes for both clubs. Cook will throw it bench side. Brett McIntyre won a championship with Colorado back in 2023. Roll back to Dixon. Good stick check there by Accioni. One of the speediest players in the NLL. Along with his twin brother down in San Diego. Garland will flip it off to Robert Church. 4.5 to go here in the first. Church gets a pick from Shanks, plants his feet, shot kick to save, and a beauty from Aiden Walsh. But right to Zach Mans and a fresh 30. Church watched by Hall, inside, good handle by Zawada, and then a heavy slide from Riley Isaacs knocks him to the turf.
Yeah, what a play. Calgary just communicating so well right now. Anybody that tries to get open in the middle, they've got slide help, bodying the Saskatchewan Rush to the outside. They're blocking shots. It's a great defensive stand to start this game for Calgary.
93rd overall draft pick back in 2023 was Riley Isaacs. Had almost 100 points in his junior A career, but turned into a bit of a defensive player now. And who's that down on the floor, Brad? Is that Riley Lowen? Slow to get up for Calgary, it is. And hopefully Riley Lowen will be okay. But the heavy defense pressure is stepping up for both clubs. But it's 3-0. Jake Boudreau had a chance in transition. But Aiden Walsh's friends saving the day. Here's a look at Jeremy Talevi, defensive coach for the Saskatchewan Rush. Let's talk about the goals for the season, because Saskatchewan's putting up numbers and Calgary's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, they're a deep offense, so kind of the reverse. Calgary's been struggling with depth this season. The Rush, no big deal. Every one of their offensive players has been able to find the back of the net this season. Ryan Keenan's off to a career start this year. Zach Mann's a great one-on-one threat. They've got the finishers in Church and Shanks, the quick feet of Zawada and Levi Anderson. They are well-rounded, and they are deep.
Only 6 guys on the Rush team in total have yet to score a goal, and one of those is Levi Birch, who's only played 1 game. Here's the aforementioned Josh Zawada. Again, another block in front, loose ball, and it's picked up there by Church. Behind the net to Shanks. Back up top, Church. He'll shoot it off the pipe again. That's 5.
Wow. It's going to need a paint job by halftime to
Fresh
touch
30.
up the pipes. Man, oh man.
Near side Shanks. Watched by Leclerc. Far side skip. Keenan, one more to Church. Cutting through the middle. Pass just missed. 15 on the shot clock for Austin Shanks. Tries to drive the crease. Save Walsh. Loose ball. Salama found it. Flipped it to the middle. Ball still loose. Finally picked up by the captain, Eli Salama. Here's another look at that post by Robert Church. Tanner Cook. Watched by Hossack. Skip it far side, McIntyre. Outside shot, Dixon. Oh, it's loose behind Chiliano. But Boudreau there to clean up the garbage so it didn't roll across the line.
If the shots on goal are accurate in-house here, 14-7 in favor of the Rush. So an unreal start for Aiden Walsh and the posts as the Rush have been opening things up with volume.
Another good save by Aiden Walsh. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Still 3-0. Calgary leading Saskatchewan. Keenan. Haley thought about it, gives it back to the captain, Ryan Keenan. Keenan watched by Isaacs. Mans was open in the middle. Good rotation again by the Calgary D. Keenan with an open lane. Saved by Walsh. Loose ball. Man wide open. Church. He finally scores. And this one goes posting in instead of posting out. And the Rush are on the board.
Finally, the posts working in favor of the Saskatchewan Rush as bar down Bobby. Robert Church pins it off the pipe and into the back of the net. And this is off of a rebound. Nice grab. Anderson off the save, and then a cutting Robert Church before the defense can really find their assignments again off of the initial shot. And Robert Church 3 away now from 400 on the illustrious career.
Give him 13 on the season. And after 16 shots, finally the 17th gets past Aiden Walsh and his 3 friends. And let's see if that sparks Jimmy Quinlan's crew. Loose ball, good handle there by Isaacs with speed off the line. Now he'll go for a change as will Jack follows.
Bit of injury bug this season for the Calgary Roughnecks is Kyle Pepper, the rookie, out of the lineup. Bennett Smith out of the lineup with injury right now. So guys like Riley Isaacs have to step up, and he's had a great start to this game.
Here's Maye. Driving, shooting on the bouncer far side, didn't miss by much. And then a funny hop off the turf. Saskatchewan could have numbers here. Adam J. back into the lineup. They're missing a handful of games. Final minute in the opening quarter. Shanks. Late man on is Levi Anderson. Mans watched by Isaacs on a bit of an ISO. Over comes Keenan. Near side Shanks. Back to Mans. Anderson, 10 on the shot clock, little shimmer stutter, and a floater almost fooled Walsh. Loose ball picked up by Riley Isaacs. Steps away from a check and gives it off to Liam LeClaire.
Follows does a good job standing his ground. That was a matchup that I think Anderson was kind of licking his chops at. Much bigger than Jack Follows, tried to swim over top, and Follows just stout, stands his ground.
Calgary not able to hold for the final possession. So we'll have to get a shot off here in 10 seconds. Pace on the far side, watched by Holden Garland. McIntyre trying to set a seal, and loose ball picked up by Boudreau, gonna try to run. And can they pull Chiliano in time here? But there's only 8 seconds. Can they run quick? Messenger, slow numbers. Mike Messenger, he'll shoot, try to go 5-hole. Great save, Aiden Walsh. Empty net. And it won't count even if it did go in, but a fantastic start for Josh Sanderson's crew.
Fantastic response from last week. Everything that they wanted to right wrong, they did in that first quarter. Big stops, great saves by Aiden Walsh, and their offense came out swinging. Picture perfect start for the Roughnecks.
Maye, Lowen, and Cook with the 3 goals. Pace has helped him with a couple assists, and Robert Church finally got the goal to get Saskatchewan on the board. But it's 3-1, Calgary leading Saskatchewan. You're watching the NLL Game of the Week here on TSN. Braden Lady came over the Christian Del Bianco deal. He'll always be remembered from that, but also be remembered as a guy who lives off the cross-check. More on him. Here's Chantel.
Yeah, so when that trade went down, Braden Lady ended up taking a different role here in Calgary. I had a chance to speak with him and asked him about his role, and he said that he loves it here in Calgary and that he's taken more of a leadership role. He also loves the primetime minutes. He talked about if he was in Vancouver, he would have been behind a lot of those veteran guys. So he loves that role. And I also talked to Eli Salama about Braden Lady, and he told me that Lady is an absolute monster, and he doesn't get enough love or respect for what he does on the floor. He also mentioned, I don't even know how we got him, but we got really lucky in that trade. And he also mentioned that he has taken more of that leadership role, and that just shows a lot about his character. Teddy, Brad?
Thank you, Chantel. Pumpkin farmer back home in BC.
Yeah, he's 22 years old. I like that. Boggles my mind how young and how successful he's already been. And I think Kurt Malowski told him in that trade, like, you're forever going to be remembered as a guy traded for Christian Del Bianco. That is a big deal. A bunch of draft picks in that as well. But, you know, that just shows the worth of Braden Lady to this Calgary Roughnecks team.
Another man involved in that trade was the goaltender, Aiden Walsh, who's been fantastic here to start this game. 18 saves on 19 shots, and he has his team up 3-1. And there's Robert Church. He's got 2. Maybe I spoke too soon, but Church has his second of the game.
So smooth, so accurate, so wavy, as Chantel Shand would say. But Robert Church just shoots the ball like few other do in this National Lacrosse League. He makes it look effortless, just a beautiful stroke, able to put it wherever he wants. This time it's a short side shot through Aiden Walsh, his second of the night. He's got 400 on the horizon, Ted. He's already got 2 here in the first 15 minutes and 24 seconds of this game.
Three-time NLL champion, averages 4.45 points per game, franchise leader in games played and points for the Rush, and he is leading his team here in this one as they now trail by 1 as Ignacio and Naso battle again on the dot, and Naso gets the better of him. Now can the Rush tie things up? Church swings it near side. Keenan watched by Hendricks. One more. Twister scores. There's that floater again from Austin Shanks. And he got Walsh leaning the other way. And just like that, 2 goals in 44 seconds, and we're tied at 3.
Yeah, blink and we're tied. That's how the Saskatchewan Rush roll. And it's another right-hander stinging a corner, this time in the form of Austin Shanks. It's a big possession, so Jake Naso wins the face-off. You get the possession right after scoring a goal, and then you bury one. These are backbreakers for a defense and a goaltender. The Rush know how to step on a throat, and they've tied the game up here at 3.
Second time we've had back-to-back goals in 20 seconds in this game, and just like that, we're back to even. Austin Shanks scoring his 14th of the year. And a lot of that, just same with the Robert Church goal. They got him at 3-2. East to west passing gets Aiden Walsh moving off a quick shot. And it's success here early on in the second for the Rush. And they have possession again. Shanks tried to float it inside to Church, but it falls right to Aiden Walsh. He looked for the long one, but we'll give it off to Leclerc. Now near side Riley Isaacs got to get across center in time. He does just.
Walsh has it in his arsenal. He's a good passing goaltender. He's just waiting for a couple horses to get up front of the play. Calgary not exactly your prototypical transition team.
Pace. Shot, blocked, loose ball. And it'll go up and out of play. That went off the stick of Connor McClelland. So fresh 30 here for the Roughnecks. Josh Sanderson kind of joked and said, hey, last year we were a team that could run. Years before, we were a team that could run. Now they don't quite have the horses that can do that, so they have to make sure they take care of the ball, make smart decisions in transition.
We've got Zach Mans caught on a shift to D right now as they get Hayden Dixon to attack Mans.
And there is that attack. Oh, he tried to go 5-hole, and it rattled around the legs of Chiliano. And quickly up ahead, Achioni. And again, he'll make a wide decision, not force it. The 5-man offensive unit do their thing. Ryan Keenan on pace for a career year. Big pick there from Anderson. One more inside Church. Oh, went off the tip of his stick and almost got past Walsh. But again, we talk about Calgary getting in the middle. Saskatchewan doing a good job getting in the middle of the floor as well.
Yeah, they found a better way here in the second quarter to start slicing and dicing a little bit. Quick feet. They've been moving a lot faster, more fluid on offense here in this second quarter.
Brett McIntyre, local Calgary product, and playing his first game of the year. Noah Manning out of the lineup, driving. No, he didn't score. McIntyre thinks he did, and quickly Calgary will look at the iPad.
And again, we talk about picture-perfect golf ball cutting. That was an exemplary chance there.
And there's the flag. Quickly thrown by Josh Sanderson. And he wants to have words with the officials. Get a look.
Yeah, we get a look at the cut here from McIntyre. It goes airborne, and Chiliano falls on top of it pretty quick.
Yeah, it does go across the line, but I'm not sure if McIntyre's still in the air or if he's in the crease by the time it hits the turf. So Brett Colomb, crew chief, will head over and let us know what's what, and then take a look.
Calgary is challenging the no goal call at their end of the field.
So we'll take a few more looks at it. McIntyre looking for his first of the season. It's going to be a close one.
This is going to be a tricky one to find a good shot of, too. And if they have inconclusive evidence, call on the field stands, which was no goal. So Calgary grabbed the tablet immediately, and they think they saw something here. His takeoff looks okay. And if that might have a case. So we're not looking at his feet on the takeoff. We're looking at, did the ball cross the goal line?
No, I think it does cross the goal line after the fact. But there he's down in the crease, and I don't think it's crossed yet, but there you can see it in his underneath his left leg.
Yeah, so it's initial save as he falls back, so I don't think it's in there.
And you can see on the reverse angle, McIntyre can see that it's across the line, but we haven't seen any good angles that show this to be a good goal. But the officials will use their fancy little mouse pad and try to find the right angles. See if they can stitch something together. 3-3 is your score. 12:20 to go in the second quarter.
If anything, a delay here in this review will suck a little life out of the Saskatchewan Rush, who are on a 3-goal run.
Makes the first save. Ball falls underneath them. And nothing you can see there. But again, McIntyre pointing. His feet are clean leaving. But just can't see a ball anywhere from these angles. Calgary will take on Ottawa on February 7th, and then home against Philadelphia for a Valentine's Day matchup, while Saskatchewan will head to San Diego next weekend. And then they'll host Vancouver before they have a tough 3-game road stretch against Philadelphia, Buffalo, and Rochester.
So I think it's in his leg pad.
Yeah.
It's in the left leg pad, which means I don't think it's coming back. If it stops in his leg pad, then he hits the crease, then Chiliano falls backwards. And it looks like the referees have a decision.
Brent Cologne will let everybody know if this is a good goal or not. I think it's going to stay no goal.
Upon review, the Calgary shooter's hand was down in the crease before the ball even got to the goal line. Therefore, we have no goal. Calgary's charged their first half timeout.
So no more first timeout for Josh Sanderson and the Calgary Roughnecks, as that's deemed no goal. And it'll remain 3-3. He's just getting some final clarification from Justin Kitashima. And so Saskatchewan will start with possession all the way in the far corner. See if they can't find their first lead after trailing 3-0. 7.5 minutes into this game. Here's Keenan. Shanks, one more. Church, little bit of a set play out of the timeout. And another nice save by Aiden Walsh. Lady quickly up ahead to Salama.
Tough angle for Church. He goes behind the back. You don't see that a ton from 17 throughout his career. So he's just a very clean overhand shooter for the most part.
Here's Hayden Dixon, gets a pick from Pace, trying to bully his way in, and Messenger knocks him off his feet, and the ball bounces right to Chiliano.
I like the vigor that's been in Dixon's game to start tonight, though. He's going to the net hard with purpose.
Boudreau, former high school cricket player in Ontario.
Not many of those floating around the NLL.
No. Here's Josh Zawada. Nice pick off there by Aiden Walsh. Read that one nicely. And Zach Mans was behind the cage. Now Pace. Trying to get his team back in front here. Pace still with it. McIntyre now got it from Cook. Shot, shoulder save, Chiliano, loose ball. And smart play there by Chiliano not to grab that one in fear of back in. And now up ahead of him is Matt Accioni. Now Levi Anderson. 12th overall pick back in 2023. Oh, Church was open, wasn't looking for it. Shanks gets a pick from Haley. One more, Zach Mans, bar down and in. What a shot over the right shoulder of Aiden Walsh. And that's 4 in a row for Saskatchewan, who have the momentum.
The posts have been a pretty big story to start this one, needless to say. A bunch of stops for the post in one side of the floor, and then another bar down shot from Zach Mans, similar to the Church shot from earlier. The post giveth and they taketh away, and the Rush have 4 in a row in the lead in this lacrosse game. That's just how quickly things can turn. A dream start for the Roughnecks, but fall asleep for a second.
And again, east-west ball movement gets this Calgary defense turning their heads. And Mans now tied for the team lead with his 19th goal of the season. 8th goal all-time against Calgary. Boudreau, Shanks thought about going early. And good defense there by Salama, knocked it out of his stick. Then a nice play, even better play to pop that ball loose, but good battle in the corner by Church. Ball still free, shot clock still running, and Church comes away with it. Shanks, from a tough angle, is gonna get the reset. Cheeky shot from Austin Shanks.
Yeah, and Salama and Matsuoka were going so hard at that loose ball, they're gonna get tired D here.
Mans, watched by Hendricks, skip pass. Shanks can't fire it. Gets the middle of the floor, thought about it, gives up the swat low to low off the left toe of Aiden Walsh. Ball loose, Keenan in there, as is Isaacs, and Saskatchewan comes away with it. Fresh 30.
It's a long offensive shift, Saskatchewan rush.
Shanks flips it to Zawada. Now Mans, and a little aggressive there by Levi Anderson, and allows the Roughnecks to escape and gets that D a break. But it's been a 4-goal run by the Saskatchewan rush. Church with 2, Shanks and Mans with the other, and they lead it by 1. All Saskatchewan ever since, and a lot of this goal scoring has been a big part of their winning streak, Brad.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Quinlan very happy with the way that they've won these games. So different style, the low-scoring slugfest against Georgia, back-to-back home and home with Halifax. Tough to come out of that with 2 wins, a 21-goal onslaught against Vegas, and then putting up 15 again against Doug Jamieson and the Oshawa Firewolves. So good teams win in different kinds of lacrosse games, and Sask has been doing that the last 5 weeks.
So a little confusion here of how they want to work this breakout is Boudreau right up on his man Maye. So they'll bring Walsh to the bench and escape a defender out the back. And Maye just going to try to run here. And now you got to find a way to get their goalie back on the floor and get the ball out of the stick of Jack Follows.
Great pressure by Boudreau.
Finally they get it to Tanner Cook. Now Follows got to get off. And again, extended pressure by the Saskatchewan defense, one of the most athletic Ds in the league, and a good stick check there by Garland. And Calgary just didn't look comfortable there at all, Brad.
No, and then just so much pressure. Boudreau with the great feet, and then Garland just slaps it away from Dixon like it's no big deal. I think they were looking and then got a little discombobulated when the set play out of the timeout didn't work out.
Here's Keenan. Trying to get in the middle, he does. Short side shot didn't make it on target. Now they'll give him the reset as Keenan crashed into Walsh. Calgary going to try to go the other way. Walsh looks like he's going to be okay. Here's Eli Salama on the run. Salama, and a good stick in the transition. Knocked that one out of play. That was BK3 with a good defensive effort on Salama.
Let's see if Calgary can get into the rhythm now. Settled in 5-on-5 on a dead ball.
The shots are 24-10.
Oh.
Here's Goche. Heavy pressure from Adam J.
The benchmark is 50-55. That's kind of where you want to get to have a successful offensive night. Saskatchewan well on their way to that mark here.
Cook took a look at the shot clock, fired one off target, gets it right back. Gets a pick. Shot again, missing wide. Loose ball bouncing towards center. And wisely, Adam J doesn't pick that up as there was 4 Calgary defenders coming out the back gate. Shanks almost pulled the trigger. He'll settle the offense with Levi Anderson. Trying to get under the Hendricks. He does! Dives far side. Good glove save by Aiden Walsh. And that's a good take by Anderson. Saw Hendricks turning his head. Shanks. Haley. Mans. Thought about it. Won't take it. Skip pass, and they had a Zawada in the middle, but it's going to bounce to Jack Follows. And again, they're going to have Mans stuck on defense. Follows gives it off to Tanner Cook.
They're able to trap Mans.
Dixon, heavy shot, missed on the short side. This will be over and back on Calgary, not taking advantage of Mans back on D. Got to get those old guys in the two-man game. Picking pops, just get them turning their head. Not used to communicating with the D guys at the back. Calgary just didn't get a good look. Now Mans offensively where he's more comfortable. Sawada. Shanks tries to turn the corner, gives it off to Mans. One more. Church had his stick checked by, who's that? Matsuoka. And then a good stick check by Salama. Still loose. Finally in the stick of Ryan Keenan. And then Church had it in and out of his stick as he was trying the one-timer. And Salama just going to keep this ball loose as Leclerc comes over and gives Church a bump into the boards.
Better defensive stand. Now the offense that's been discombobulated the last couple of shifts have to get back to their fundamentals. Strong two-man game.
Sending those pressure from McClellan.
Yeah, this is last few shifts now.
And I think Jimmy Quinlan's kind of seeing something from this Calgary defense, not getting up the floor in quick succession of change, allows their defense to get up the floor and cause that pressure. And it's giving Calgary fits. Iccioni to Keenan. Now near side, Levi Anderson. Good swim move. Anderson, he put it right into the logo as he got past follows. And Walsh quickly up ahead to McIntyre. Calgary hasn't scored since 7:34 in the first quarter. As Frank Chiliano settled into this one. Maye tried to float it over the far shoulder. Another nice save, Chiliano. And Adam J doesn't look like he's missed too many games the way he's been pushing the tempo here. Backhand feed to Shanks. Oh my goodness, they'll wave it off. That would have been a spectacular goal. Now Calgary trying to push.
He's screaming for a replay and for a flag. What a dish, what a finish. But in the crease. Well, Calgary still, a defensive player trapped in Isaacs, who will slow change now. Just 16 on the shot clock before they get their personnel on the floor.
They just showed the replay here in-house. He was definitely in the crease. There's another good stick check by McClellan. Pace, and they're going to call Dixon on the moving screen. And Calgary just can't do anything right offensively right now.
Just can't get into any sort of rhythm right now with those extra possessions or decent shots.
As we had a look at the replay, he's definitely in the crease. Mans. Washed by Lady, skips it far side. Shanks. Keenan, 10 on the shot clock. Thought about it, floats it. Mans, double clutch, scores! And the pick and roll game from Saskatchewan is on display here in Calgary.
Man, so good in tight. They've loved his aggression this season. He's gone to the rack fearlessly. And this is a great roll and read off of Ryan Keenan to finish in tight for Zach Mans. And the offensive onslaught here continues for the Saskatchewan Rush. 5 in a row now.
Mans now with 20 on the season.
Back-to-back goals. As he fakes and makes Aiden Walsh come across the crease and follow him. And beautiful finish in tight.
Mans was just traded back to his hometown Victoria Shamrocks of the Canadian Senior League out west. He's happy to be back home in the Shamrock Green. And he was traded for Noah Manning, who's not in the lineup tonight for the Calgary Roughnecks. I know Noah's probably back home watching this one. Placed on the short-term holdout list today by GM Mike Board.
Rookie's had a great start to the season.
Shanks tried the floater again.
Missed here tonight for sure.
Anderson with 15 on the shot clock. There's that pick and roll again to Keenan. And he tried to go 5-hole. That's a timely save by Aiden Wall. But it's been all Saskatchewan here in the second quarter.
Yeah, those were the attempts that were getting taken away in the first quarter. So a much faster pace moving Saskatchewan Rush to get their feet open, get themselves open here in quarter 2.
4:20 to go in the second. You're watching the NLL on TSN. Back here in Calgary, 4:20 to go. Saskatchewan leading Calgary 5-3. Coming up, the game halftime report. Is 2026 the new 2016? We'll figure that one out. Plus, halftime analysis, a player interview with Chantel, and more. Coming up on the game halftime report. There's Ryan Keenan. We'll have more on him as this game goes on, but that young man has taken over the leadership role for Saskatchewan, and he's running with it.
Yeah, and playing with so much confidence right now. We asked him and we asked Jimmy Quinlan, like, what's with this level of exhalation that we've seen from Ryan Keenan to start this season? His production has just been way up. And there's just getting chances, and when an offensive player gets balls dropping for them, confidence will build. Players start looking for you, and that's been the start of the season for the vet. As another turnover by Calgary, as they enter the zone, the sticks of the Saskatchewan Rush D have just been so quick.
As soon as they cross center, there's a body on a body, and it's just giving them fits. Inside, all alone, Maye off the pipe! And Hayden Dixon is down, as is, ooh, that's Ryan Barnable. Must have crashed bodies on the far side as they're both slow to get up. And Dixon's still down as Saskatchewan has possession, and Josh Sanderson screaming. He wants the whistle to be blown here, and he's not going to get it. And now they'll blow it down. And Hayden Dixon is in some very uncomfortable motions right now, holding that right leg. And Brad, you mentioned injury problems for this Calgary team. This would be a major, major loss if Dixon is out for this game.
Yeah, they're coming off of a bye week, but it almost had the opposite effect as these two just collide hard, and Dixon felt it right away.
It was a great look for Maye off the bar.
Best look they've had in about 15 minutes as Maye gets open, slices through the middle, hits that pipe again. It's been getting a lot of work done tonight, but they will miss Hayden Dixon as he's hobbling off the floor right now.
Let's hope he's going to be okay, because, as mentioned, Dixon, one of the big bodies out the front door for Josh Sanderson. Came into this game with 11 goals, 27 points, was 4 away from 100 in his career. And so he'll head down the tunnel. Maybe we can get an update from Chantel after the half.
And he's a power forward that they rely on. They rely on his cutting. They rely on his two-man game with Tyler Pace. And now running lefty strong, who comes up to play with as their third right-handed offensive player? You're going to have to rely on a D guy to come up and take some shifts on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, you might see Riley Isaacs doing a bit of that both ways. Mentioned nearly 100 points in his junior A career here in Calgary. And now the Rush trying to extend their lead. Man, it's low to high, riding the elevator. Didn't miss by much, but they had to get a quick shot off, and that one goes off the shins of Leclerc. That one stings.
We mentioned that injury bug for Calgary. Bennett Smith, Kyle Pepper. Look, Pepper was moving around great this morning, and he looks to be close, but they missed those two on the back end.
Tanner Cook on the far side, picked up by Messenger. Two big monsters going toe-to-toe. Here's Pace. Gets a pick from McIntyre. Pace will carry behind the net. Watched there by Hosick. Back to the half wall, Cook. Back to Pace. Tough angle, tucks it, flips it. McIntyre! Put it over top. Loose ball to Messenger. Up ahead, Garland. 3 minutes to go here. Shots are 30-12 in favor of the Rush, who lead it by 2. Levi Anderson, near side Keenan. Church working hard in the middle. Anderson sets a seal. Keenan still with it. Trying to go far side. Good glove save by Walsh. Picked up by Salama. He's going to try to push the tempo. And then we'll drop it down to second gear as he crosses center. This is where Saskatchewan likes it.
Yeah, if you're Calgary, get the ball deep. You're having trouble at the front, at the center. Play the ball deep, keep it down there, and a big moving pick as Maye blows up his man.
Yeah, that's Bobby Kidd the third, and it's going to be an illegal cross-check on Braden Maye.
First penalty of the game.
And I wonder if they're talking about this one maybe being a 5. As he got right up into the chicklets. Here's Blair Ferguson with the call. And just a 2-minute call on Braden Maye.
And this is, this is, as much as this has been a 5-goal run for the Rush, we still have a 2-goal lacrosse game approaching halftime. Calgary very much in this game, and they can't let it get away from them like they did against Georgia. And they're lucky right now that that is a 2 and not a 5, as they took a couple of 5s in that game against the Swarm.
Going up against the third best power play unit in the NLL, who like to go quick. And just like that, How quick was that? 10 seconds. 2 passes, back of the net. Austin Shanks, he's got 2. 2 for Church, 2 for Shanks, 2 for Mans, and it's 6-3.
This power play, if they don't score on the first shot in the first 10 seconds, they probably don't score at all. That's how quickly this team goes. And a nice little tap in for Shanks on the backdoor cut. And a beautiful feed by Zach Mans. No looker right underneath armpit of Aiden Walsh. So he was in position, but just slipped it right underneath his chicken wing. 6-3.
And everyone moves on the power play for the Rush. It's not just one guy passing and cutting. It's nothing fancy, but it's swift, precise ball movement. And it went from Keenan to Mans to Shanks into the back of the net.
It's surgical. They let the ball do the work, but their feet are moving too. So there's just so much you have to look out for as a Calgary Roughnecks defender or goaltender.
Loose ball off the draw, going to be finally picked up there by Jake Naso.
He's had his way with Anasio tonight. Those possessions after goals always so huge. They've scored on a couple of them.
Here's Church. Near side, Ryan Keenan gets a pick from Anderson. He'll shoot it short side, scores! It is now a 7-goal run as Keenan finally gets his first.
And this one comes on a bouncer, 5-hole. Walsh kind of stands his ground, trying to outweight Keenan, but Keenan saw the opening and just so quick to stuff it down low.
32 seconds after the Shanks goal, Keenan gets his first of the game, 20th of the year, to get back tied up with Zach Mans for the team leading goals.
It's about their 3rd goal they've scored off of a face-off, off of a goal. These absolute momentum builders, not letting Calgary creep back into this game at all. Calgary can't wait to get to halftime.
Naso and Anasio again, and Naso wins it clean. He's got to try to find someone to pass to when he's got Connor McClellan.
Gauthier with a dangerous hit on Naso as he approaches the open gate.
Shanks tiptoes the crease, had it knocked out of his stick by Follows, and it's going to fall to Aiden Walsh in his crease. Quickly push it up ahead to Riley Isaacs.
Calgary didn't like the pushback against Georgia. Josh Anderson didn't like the pushback for his team, and I suspect in a rivalry game like this and coming off a couple losses, see a little bit more pushback here tonight. Whether that's with fists or sticks, we shall see.
Cook worked with Maye, and Maye just bobbled that pass. He was open on a good pick and roll, and they just got to get back to that. Work the 2-man game. Get the Saskatchewan defense turning their heads. Now the officials will blow this one dead and just have a conversation.
44 seconds, thank you.
We'll just reset the game clock to 44 seconds.
Yeah, they just haven't had a lot of possessions, haven't even get into their rhythm and get into their fundamentals. They're being attacked at center. They're turning the ball over. And now without Hayden Dixon, that's a big loss for their 2-man game on the right side.
Zawada with a head of steam downhill. Church on his wrong side. They'll circle back strong side. Zawada thought about it. Watched there by Leclerc, now Mans. Good stick check by Sykes. Late shot, hit a body in front, won't be a reset. And Mans will ice it in the corner. Calgary doesn't have a timeout, so they're gonna have to go quick here. And Aiden Walsh will scurry to the bench, try to go 6-on-5. So we'll start with Jack Follows. He's gonna have to do his best Usain Bolt, sprint up the floor. Lowen pops free. They just get Tanner Cook on now. 6 seconds, Cook, Lowen, pace. Gotta get a shot off. Stick check by Boudreau, and they don't get a clean look. After a slow start in the first quarter, Brad, Saskatchewan has found another gear, and they are showing why they're the best team in the NLL.
Yeah, it just took them 15 minutes or so to arrive here in Calgary, and then, oh my goodness, that second quarter by the Saskatchewan Rush. Church, Shanks, Mans, Shanks, Keenan, all their big offensive guns getting on the board, and Frank Chiliano standing tall. Defense smothering, just 13 shots on goal for the Calgary Roughnecks in the first half. They need to reset, refresh, head to halftime.
The game halftime coming up next here on TSN.
Welcome back to Calgary. The Saskatchewan Rush lead the Calgary Roughnecks 7-3 at the half. Welcome to the game halftime. And if you hadn't noticed, 2016 has been trending. And 2026, is it similar to 2016? Well, let's take a look and see what was going down in 2016. Well, the #1 song was Justin Bieber, Love Yourself. The #1 movie was Captain America. And then also the top TV show was Big Bang Theory. And the NLL champions in 2016 were the Saskatchewan Rush. They went back to back. So Brad Challoner and Teddy Jenner, you're going to join me here. And let's go to you, Brad. So let's talk a little bit about that 2016 run that the Rush made.
That looked like a Teddy Jenner Saturday night there. A little Big Bang Theory, a little Justin Bieber, why not? But 2016, slide on your skinny jean, jump into the time machine. 2016, what a time to be alive it was. It was the year that kind of built the Saskatchewan Rush and started the dynasty, Teddy. They moved from Edmonton to Saskatoon in 2016. They defended their championship title. Jeff Cornwall with some late-game heroics and a sold-out SaskTel Center. This was the game that kind of cemented the dynasty and cemented what this team would be over the next decade, going back to the finals a couple years later. But if it wasn't for that move and that hot start in 2016, I don't know if we have the Rush that we have today. And then I don't know how many times this has happened in professional sports. I'm going to say maybe almost none, that a championship team somehow fandangled their way to absolute larceny in the draft to have the first and the third overall draft pick after winning a championship. So this kind of cemented the dynasty. They win the ship. They're able to draft Ryan Keenan first overall, Mike Messenger third. Oh yeah, and then a late second round pick, a guy named Matt Hossack, who's now the defending defensive player of the year. So 3 guys 10 years later still getting it done for this franchise. But what a special year 2016 was, the year that built the Rush.
And then when you continue to think about 2016, let's look big picture to the National Lacrosse League. That was the year that Dane Smith set the single season point record, and he has been on the trajectory to greatness ever since. This man has entered the league as a sort of a transition player. He was playing out the back, and then once he got the go-ahead, he was all systems go, and there's been no stopping 92 in Banditland. He's just continued to be one of the greatest players our sport has ever seen. But when you look at 2016, in the grand scheme of things, that was the first time 7 players had ever had 100 points or more. Just look at some of those names that crossed the century mark. It was phenomenal. Oh yeah, it was also the rookie year of one Christian Del Bianco. 2016 was a fantastic year, but 2026, Brad, has turned out to be a pretty good year as well.
Yeah, and just some of those names still getting it done today. As you mentioned, Dane Smith and Del Bianco and the Rush, obviously 10 years later, now back on top of the National Lacrosse League, fighting for another title. It's been a decade of dominance for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Well, it was a lot of fun back in 2016. Let's look and see what we were doing back in 2016. I was doing some WLA broadcasting. There's no gray in the beard. Looking kind of svelte. Still sweating.
Nice ring, by the way.
I appreciate that. 2005 Man Cup. What were you doing back?
Not much different than today, so some things don't change. I was between the benches with the Vancouver Stealth at the Langley Event Center, and yeah, what a time it was. A lot has changed, but some things never change, right?
And what about young Chantel? She was like 12 years old back then, Chantel?
I wish I was 12 years old back then, but I was already working in radio at the time doing traffic, and I was happy to make the switch the next year to sports, obviously. But I gotta say, all those guys that were drafted in 2016 by the Rush, they're still balling, and so is Dane Smith. So 2016 looking good, 2026 maybe looking even better. But coming up on the other side, we're going to get the first half analysis from Brad Challoner and Teddy Jenner. You're watching the NLL on TSN.
In Calgary, the Rush leading at 7-3. Little Indigenous hoop dancing to keep the fans entertained here on Indigenous Celebration Night. Brad Challoner, Teddy Jenner with you. It was a fantastic start for Josh Sanderson's Calgary Roughnecks squad. Jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Defense was playing great. Aiden Walsh was playing great. And that's what they need more of.
Yeah, it was picture perfect, really. Everything they talked to us about this week, they were aggressive. They were getting out on loose balls. They were blocking shots. They were doing all the little things the defense needs to do to become successful. And the Rush were paying the price to get to the middle. Aiden Walsh was getting rewarded, and he kept his team in it early in this game, and they got rewarded with 3 goals themselves, plus the solid goaltending. So everything that went wrong in Edmonton last week reversed itself here, but didn't last for very long. Lasted for about 15 minutes where the Rush sat down with Jimmy Quinlan, sat down with Derek Keenan, made their adjustments, and then came out absolutely roaring in second quarter.
Yeah, in that first quarter, they hit 5 pipes. They just weren't getting the shots to fall. Then they switch ends. Must be a goal thing because everything they shot at the goal to our broadcast right was falling for them. And it was a 7-goal run starting at the end of the first quarter all the way to the end of the second. And they were just getting everything in the middle and everything was falling.
And that's just sticking with it, right? The first quarter, they're hitting those pipes. Aiden Walsh is making saves, but they didn't have to change too much. Maybe they were moving the ball a little bit better. Their feet were moving a little bit faster, but they found a way to penetrate the middle, to work the ball around, everyone getting their touches, and then absolutely sniping corners. Mans crashed the crease at one point, the bouncer by Ryan Keenan, so a couple different kinds of goals too to round things out, but an absolute face-off dominance, goals after face-offs, this momentum just rolling towards the Rush right now, and the Calgary Roughnecks, I think, just desperate to get to halftime right now, take a breather, and come out adjusting for the second half.
That shot total is correct for Saskatchewan. 34 shots in the opening half. And they're going to have to do more of that in the second half if they want to pull away from the Roughnecks. This is just game 1 here in Week 10. Another game tonight as the Wings will visit San Diego to take on the Seals. And then banger after banger after banger after banger after banger on Saturday. Royal Rumble Saturday. And then you can settle in to watch some National Lacrosse League action here in Week 10. When we come back, second half action between the Rush and Roughnecks. It's the game of the week from Calgary on the TSN.
Rush lead the Roughnecks 7-3. Zach, you guys went on a 7-goal run. What kind of clicked for you after Calgary took that 3-0 lead?
Just stay in the course, not panicking when they got up, and just sticking to the process, swinging the ball, get through the middle.
Obviously, you guys have the lead right now. What do you have to do to hold on to it, knowing Calgary is going to be really gritty in the second half?
Just keep working hard. They put in a great effort every single time down, so just match their intensity and stick to the game plan.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Teddy, Brad.
Thank you, Chantel. Mac Mans with 2 goals in that opening half. He had 2. Church had 2. Shanks had 2, and Keenan had the other.
All the big guns out to play. You know, all these guys would be #1 weapons on any other team in the National Lacrosse League, but all 3 of them get to share the offense here in Saskatchewan, and what a luxury of riches for Jimmy Quinlan. 3 elite lacrosse players, 3 players, different body types, different aspects of their game, just 3 different kinds of weapons.
So they just panned across the Calgary bench here in the in-house camera, and I do see Hayden Dixon back on the bench for Calgary. That's a good sign for Josh Sanderson's crew, and they win the opening draw from Ignacio, who was able to flip it to Gauthier. And now can Calgary do what they did in the opening quarter? Get some goals early and often.
Well, 68, Tyler Pace, who just passed the ball off. 0 shots in that first half, and Josh Sanderson telling us earlier this week, Teddy, he wants like 15 a night from Tyler Pace.
There's a shot from McIntyre. You want 15 shots from Pace. He only has 61 shots this season. That's the lowest of any top goal scorer in the NLL right now.
Yeah, and he's got the goals to prove it, though. His shooting percentage has been great, so they just need some more volume out of Tyler Pace to convert those chances. Don't defer, don't pass up good shots, but he's been kept at bay tonight.
Oh, Church backside, and Keenan rang it off the post. He had Walsh hung out to dry, but another pipe for Saskatchewan. Give him 7 on the night. Now Tanner Cook. He had the 3rd goal and the last goal here for Calgary in this one. That came with 7:43 into the second quarter, into the first quarter. Here's Pace. There's a shot. Chiliano got a piece. Only to say he didn't. And that ball loose behind the cage. Still battling for it is Maillet. And it'll be a shot clock violation. He's surrounded by 3 Rush defenders.
Again, it's just a 4-goal deficit. Nothing in the National Lacrosse League. We saw how quickly Saskatchewan went from 3-0 to 7-3. Calgary not out of anything. They just need to find that competitive edge again like they had in quarter number 1.
Church takes a couple chops there from a defender. Backside look, Keenan fakes it, holds on to it, 7 on the shot clock. Keenan skips it, Zawada. One more, Anderson late in the 30, just put it off the far side.
And that's that defense we saw in quarter number 1. Good slide help from Lady to come over and support Matsuoka. And Zawada just nothing late in the shot clock.
Tanner Cook again, matched up by Messenger. Gets a pick from Gauthier. Late man is Dixon. Doesn't look to be any worse for wear after taking that collision with Barnable. Cook, shot, far side bouncer, didn't miss by much. Loose ball off the far side glass. And then a smart play there by Barnable just to bat it loose into the corner.
They gave him the reset off that Cook shot. So that's a lucky bounce there for
that.
I thought that went wide.
Lucky bounce. Can't quite see Jimmy Quinlan from a broadcast booth, but I'm sure he's not too happy about it. Here's Cook thinking about it, taking it through a screen. And that loose ball bounced towards center. And it'll be over and back. Good pressure there by Holden Garland. And Garland gonna go quick, take it to the cage, Holden Garland, oh, he just missed. And then a loose ball will be picked up by Messenger. And Messenger will roll it all the way back. And having to be careful with that one was Josh Zawada. Check that, Brock Haley, 51. Late man coming on is Ryan Keenan. Levi Anderson on the far side. Pressured there by Isaacs, gets away from him. Anderson, bounce shot, save, loose ball. And it's under Aiden Walsh.
That's a great stop. He absolutely undresses Isaacs, who falls down, trying to match the footwork of the elite Levi Anderson. Aiden Walsh bails out his defender there.
Here's Maye. Drafted 5th overall a couple years ago by Calgary. 2-man game on the far side. Shot by Dixon. Good save, Chiliano, fresh 30. This is what Calgary needs. Couple extra possessions, tire out this defense a little bit. Lowen to Pace, back to Lowen, can't pull it. One more inside, good ball movement! There it is! A much needed one, and Hayden Dixon's got on the board.
That's what Roughnecks lacrosse is supposed to look like. Ball swinging, everybody's feet moving, everybody off ball, working hard to get open, and no one does that better than Hayden Dixon. Happy and healthy after what looked like an ugly injury in that second quarter. But he's just got such great mitts in tight. Low and Pace. Back to a cutting Dixon who beats Barnable to the cage.
He's now just 3 away from 100 in his career. The Delta Flatland product. Brad Chowner's favorite player.
Gotta love those Delta boys. Logan Schuss is not in the league anymore, so gotta find another Delta boy to cheer for.
Logan Schuss was on the WLA draft trying to take our jobs here as a future broadcaster.
Coming for us.
Here comes Saskatchewan with Ryan Keenan. 12 on the season for Hayden Dixon. There's Robert Church working on a hat trick. They're trying to get a hat trick. Keenan back to Church for the shot clock. Got to let one go. Quick one from Anderson. Oh, that one hit the outside of the right pad from Walsh. And that was close to bouncing behind him. Cook will slow things up. Dixon's goal was the first Calgary goal in 26 minutes. Here's Maye, flips it. Gauthier trying to go 5-hole. Good stick save by Chiliano. Now can Saskatchewan run here? Mann's trying to join the party with Barnable. And good job by Calgary to get back. That was Jack Follows first out the back gate, catching up with Zach Mans. Near side, Austin Shanks. He's got Mans behind the cage. That shot didn't miss by much. Little floater off the stick of Shanks. Keenan. Shanks, one more inside. Haley, far corner. And there's that ball movement again. Late in the 30s, Saskatchewan ever dangerous. And Haley gets his first of the night. And that young Rush fan and that older Rush fan is extremely happy.
And this is kind of similar to the last Calgary goal. Just great off-ball cutting. Haley sets a pick, rolls through the middle, running downhill, and an easy finish inside. 2 passes, and then bang into the back of the net. Just great ball movement. Good look by Shanks to know that Haley is cutting. A good inside finish from the youngster.
7th of the year for Haley. His 7th point against Calgary. On a Minto with the Whitby Warriors. Got 43 points in his rookie season.
Jimmy Quinlan said it was an adjustment for Haley to learn how to play without the ball in his stick. He was the guy in junior. And he's had to add some different elements to his game. He's bulked up this year, so he's not getting bodied around. More physically sound, and great off-ball cut on that last goal.
Originally drafted by Calgary. Was moved to the draft a couple years ago. Church, heavy outside shot, saved Walsh, loose ball. Church battling for it, and he'll come away with it. And then heavy hit by Salama. And it's going to fall up ahead to Matsuoka. Good pressure there by the Calgary captain to cause a turnover. Matsuoka had a lane, but good recovery by the defensive player of the year, Matt Hossack. Cook gets it from Lowen. Lowen will come and set the rebound pick. Skip past Pace. Good pressure by Iccioni. Cook, shot from the outside, bouncer, almost fooled Chiliano, and he'll hold it for the whistle. 8-4 is your score. Hayden Dixon got Calgary to end the 7-goal run, and then quickly Brock Haley tied it. But just because these two teams are rival doesn't mean they don't love hitting each other. It's a physical one here in Calgary. Eight 8-4 is the score. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Saskatchewan and Calgary here on TSN. Mike Messenger is a beast on the floor, but when there's a bye week, he loves to be in the outdoors, and he had some fun this past week.
Yeah, they don't quite make him like Mike Messenger too often. When he hits the ice a couple times a week, that is a 25-pound trout. I didn't even know they made them that big. Typical West Coasters like us, Teddy, but what a way to kind of decompress throughout the week. Just spend some time in ice side, reel in some 25-pound trout, cook them up for dinner. And if you look closely, his dog Riverick making a cameo in the back of that picture, who's kind of like the bona fide Rush team mascot.
Didn't make the trip here to Calgary, but anytime there's a Rush home game, you can find River at the rink. Now here comes the Rush back on the attack. Mans, good defense by Follows to keep pushing him down the alley. He'll swing it behind the net to Shanks, 10 on the shot clock. Mans to the middle, shot, and that was saved by the goaltender Walsh. Now Haley gets the rebound, he just put it off target. And they probably could have gotten the Roughneck defender for acting like a goalie in the crease, but no call from the officials. Salama directing traffic, give it off to Braden Maillet, who opened the scoring. Just 37 seconds into this one. Pace gets a pick from Dixon, washed up there by Barnable, swims, gets to the case, floater shot off the shoulder of Chiliano, loose ball in the corner. And who else but Mike Messenger in there battling? And they're going to call a Roughnecks player for running through the crease. So up ahead to Hossack. Get off the Robert Church and head off the floor. Church matched up with Matsuoka. Gets a pick from Zawada. The pass was behind Mans. Now numbers here for Calgary if they can run. Ball pops to Isaacs. Riley Isaacs on a tough angle. Great play there by Robert Church. Backtracking on defense. Got his stick in the lane to stop that shot from Isaacs.
Savvy vet just stayed with it. Robert Church, not the fastest pair of legs on the floor, but just sticks with it. And able to knock it away from Isaacs. And then right back to play some offense.
Zawada skips it behind that to Shanks, and he was going to the dunk, but realized that Walsh had the pipe and stepped into the crease. 8 minutes gone here. Only 3 shots in the quarter here for the Rush. A little slowing down on the offense as Cook drives and runs into Chiliano. And now here's some life from Calgary. BK3 grabs Cook. They go to the ground. And Maillet trying to go at Jake Boudreau. And Bobby Kidd III still going at Tanner Cook, who crashed into Chiliano.
Cookie Monster emerges. crashes the crease. Goal will stand, and then all heck breaks loose in the far corner. Rivalry heating up here in the third quarter.
And Chiliano's going to want his bench to have a look at this one to see if Cook was in the crease as the Roughneck fans come to their feet for Tanner Cook. And that's the life that head coach Josh Sanderson was talking about. You don't have to fight a guy. You don't have to roll through a goalie, but when something happens, everyone's got to be a part of it.
He knew, too. He was ready. Right when he scores this goal, he's in stance. And ooh,
I think this
Teddy.
is crease, Brad.
Yeah, this is so crease, I think. I haven't seen a flag yet, though.
See the flag on the the Saskatchewan bench just kind of sitting there, but Quinlan hasn't done anything yet.
It's a bounce shot, so it doesn't go in clean as he's stepping. It's kind of bang, bang. Here's the call.
Got a good goal in the play.
Wow, okay. Just love the visual of him.
Calgary number 12, major penalty for goaltender interference. And he's under automatic review.
So they'll give Cook a major for goalie interference. They'll review it.
That's what Tanner Cook will do, though. I just like to say, I like the image of him crashing the crease and then just turning around ready for whoever's coming at him. He plays on the edge.
So Jimmy Quinlan just getting some instructions from Justin Kitashima, maybe seeing if he can still challenge because of all the fracas that happened after. It didn't look like he was pushed in. Looks like he had, and he knew guys were coming for him right away as soon as he crashed into Chiliano. Riley Lowen tried to play peacemaker, but everyone tried to get involved. Then Boudreau went after a body. Then Maillet got in. Boudreau wanted Maillet.
Maillet was squared up, too.
Maybe a little push there on the backtrack from BK3.
I don't see it being a 5. But we shall see.
It doesn't look like a challenge at all. It's coming from Jimmy Quinlan. But the officials are in the timekeeper's box reviewing this one. There's a look at BK3. They didn't announce a penalty to Bobby, but maybe once they review this, we'll get the full penalty called. Good crowd here in Calgary. Flames played on the road last night, so not a whole lot going on in town. Except for Brad's favorite band playing here tomorrow night.
The Offspring are in town, yeah.
The old boys still pretty flyers. Brett Cologne.
The goal is good. Calgary number 12's major penalty has been reduced to a minor penalty for goaltender interference. Calgary 12 also has a minor penalty for roughing. Saskatchewan number 3 has a minor penalty for roughing. 5-on-4. We need the in-home reserve for Calgary, please.
Good description there by Brett Cologne. So the goal stands. Cook gets 2 for goal interference, 2 for rough. And Bobby K III gets 2 for rough. So Tyler Hendricks will come over as the in-home to serve the extra 2.
And still a 3-goal game. As lopsided as this one has been at times, and Calgary's been in droughts, this is anyone's lacrosse game with a lot of ball left to go.
As Saskatchewan heads to their second power play of the night. They're 1 for 1 on one shot. It took them just 10 seconds. Might be a little longer on this one because we'll have to go to a face-off, but the officials are just confirming things with Josh Sanderson.
Chiliano has not been very busy tonight. 17 shots on goal, 5 have beaten him. And I think, you haven't seen elite Frankie tonight. I think if you're Calgary, obviously you want to ramp up the volume, but you've now bumped the big man. Frankie can kind of be rattled a little bit. You can take that goaltender off of his kind of MO, play some mind games with him. I think Cook knew exactly what he was doing, but Calgary needs volume on net to try to catch up in this game.
Clean win by Inacio. Lady thought about taking to the cage, but defers to the short man unit, and they'll try to kill some time here. Gauthier. It's the best way to stop the Saskatchewan power play is just keep the ball on the other end. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Got to get one on target. Oh, cheeky backhander right as the buzzer was about to sound. Chiliano got a piece. Gauthier picked up that loose ball, then got knocked to the turf. And it's going to squirt out to a Calgary defender.
Calgary bench is livid that wasn't a check from behind on Jay, hitting Gauthier after collecting that loose ball.
Shanks. 1-2 with Church. Mans back to Church. They'll drag. Backhand flip Shanks. One more. Mans! And a bouncer in the power play. Stays hot. They had to wait to get possession, but once they did, it didn't take them long. Mans has a hat trick, and it's a 5-goal game.
And their first real offensive touch on this power play, and again, they make quick work. Almost everyone gets a touch, and then Mans just cutting. Good pick set by Keenan, leaves that lane for Mans and shoots right through Sykes and Aiden Walsh. Restores the 4-goal lead.
Mans with his third. Give him 21 and the team lead back in goals.
21st of the season. He joins the 20-goal club. Game number 8 here for the Rush.
Ignacio wins another draw, now being hounded on the loose ball. And we're gonna get a fight. It's Gauthier and Boudreau. Squaring off right in front of Frank Chiliano. Gauthier the lefty, Boudreau the righty. Boudreau just misses. Gauthier throwing, overhand right, and then Boudreau with the left, and then a right, still throwing. They reset. Boudreau with a right. Maye trying to get in close. Boudreau with a right. A spirited fair between these two. Boudreau with a headlock and a couple rabid punches. And then one more from Gauthier for good measure. There's some life from Josh Sanderson's crew.
That's the pushback he was asking for. Gauthier still hasn't found a goal this season, but he still finds a way to put the fans on their feet and keep the Calgary Roughnecks fight alive. Boudreau, great job standing his ground, chucking some hard bombs. Brampton squaring off against St. Albert.
I'm not sure either one is a bona fide fighter, how many fights either of them have had, but that was a beautiful tilt between the two.
Calgary number 20, Saskatchewan number 13. 5 minutes each, fighting.
That was a Wes McCauley.
Okay.
He meant 43, not 13. It's not Connor McClellan in the box, it's Jake Boudreau. And they kind of wanted it right away. They bumped each other off the face-off, and Boudreau was angry after not getting to square off with Maye.
You know, and that might just be what Gauthier needs to spark his offense this season. Is just, you know, get that confidence back that you're a contributing member of this lacrosse club and that you're a valuable piece. And he's been doing some great stuff off ball. He's been doing his job. The balls just haven't fallen yet this year.
Maye tried to flip it behind his back to a teammate. Doesn't connect as Riley Isaac was playing out the front door. Now here's Messenger on the run. Messenger!
He knows how to grab momentum back.
A little far side, short side. And Messenger has his 5th of the year.
It's just so smothering for Saskatchewan. Every time you think this is the Calgary Roughnecks can get a little bit of momentum or try to steal some life back, Jagger, the ice fisherman with ice in his veins, goes across the crease and tucks it back short side. Beautiful finish and airtime. Messenger, who was an offensive player his whole life till he got to junior and adapted his role, can still finish with the best of the O guys.
In the first game of the season between these two teams back on December 6th, Messenger had a career-high 5 points in that game. And he loves playing against this Calgary club. That's now 25 points in his career against the Roughnecks, and he gives his team a 5-goal lead. Here's Shanks. And then ball knocked out of the stick of Ryan Keenan up into the netting. It'll be Calgary possession with Braden Lady.
All the talk about Calgary's transition game.
Bodies coming together back in the own zone. Matsuoka's trying to grab Shanks. And this game's starting to turn a little nasty, Brad. Here's Dixon, knocked out of his stick, trying to battle still to the turf and in the crease. 4:41 to go, and Josh Sanderson screaming at the officials for a call. When he didn't get a call a couple weeks ago in Edmonton, he got tossed. He's holding his composure a little bit more, but the roughness is picking up here in the rough house. It's 10-5 Saskatchewan. Take them to church. Maybe take Mans to church. Whose man is that? Whatever your title wants to be, these two guys have been fantastic here tonight with 5 points each.
Fun with puns. That's what we do here on NLL on TSN. But bar down Bobby Church, Robert Church, 2 goals, 3 assists tonight. Zach Mans has a hat trick, a power play goal, 1 off the crossbar and down, 1 crease crash, scoring goals in multiple different ways. And Robert Church with 2 outside snipes in this one, doing what he's done 398 times throughout his career.
22 hat tricks now for Zach Mans in his young NLL career. Originally drafted by the Toronto Rock, came over in the Mark Matthews deal along with Adam Jay, and Saskatchewan has been in favor of that one ever since.
Yeah, they really targeted after that Matthews trade, or in that Matthews trade, and since they wanted some athleticism, they wanted guys who could go one-on-one. That's when they brought Mans in. That's what they get out of Zawada and Levi Anderson. They really felt they were missing that dynamic one-on-one matchup, and now they've got 3 guys in their offense that are capable of breaking ankles.
Here's Tanner Cook, fresh out of the penalty box. McIntyre to Pace, back to Cook, shot punched away by Chiliano, and he'll clamp it in his crease. He's got Messenger up ahead of him. He'll go there now.
Cook out of the floor. He really gave their team life here a couple weeks ago against Vancouver. He's just one of those guys who elevates his game in the big moments, can put his team on his back, and we'll see what Cook's capable of here in the rest of this one.
Keenan tried the one-timer, couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Loose ball picked up by Hendricks. He'll bring it up the floor for Calgary, trailing by 5. 3:40 to go here in the third. Chantel Chan, Brad Challoner, Teddy Jenner, and our entire TSN crew. Thanks for joining us on a Friday night. Philadelphia and San Diego just getting underway down in Pechanga. Here's Pace inside. McIntyre! What a great underneath cut by the youngster, the little guy, Brett McIntyre, and Calgary's within 4.
The hometown product in his first game of the season. Doing what he was asked, doing what Dr. Sanderson, his head coach, has prescribed and ordered. Runs hard out of the corner. Nice hard cut, good finish inside. Brett McIntyre comes up in big moments, and he puts his team back within 4.
He had 6 points in Game 2 of the 2022 NLL Finals and didn't play a whole lot for Colorado, but Colorado ran into the injury bug and he was forced into the lineup.
Next man up personified.
Yeah, and now a member of this Calgary Roughnecks team and playing his first game of the season.
Face-off win for Ignacio.
And right back out comes McIntyre. Feed the hot hand. Here's Maye. Pace was open for a minute, couldn't get the pass. Heavy outside shot by Dixon, took a deflection. Then Messenger takes a bump. Loose ball, quickly up ahead. Hossack doesn't have numbers. Quickly out to watch him is Leclerc. And now Anderson will fake the flip. Give it off to Brock Haley. Garland having words with Tanner Cook as they both went off the floor. Shanks plants his feet. Will go far side to Anderson. Now Keenan, 10 on the shot clock. Haley flashes. Oh, great stick save by Walsh. And then Church finds that loose ball. Able to get away from Salama. A couple Coquitlam kids going at it. Just like they're playing at Sonny Smith box. Penalty coming to Calgary, and Salama doesn't like it.
That's pretty cut and dry hold right there.
Oh, and the pass to Mans. He wasn't ready for it, but good pick off there by Riley Isaacs.
I think Salama more frustrated at himself than the call. As we get a look here. As soon as he takes that second handoff, he's wrapped around, it's tripped up. Back to this lethal power play.
2 for 2, just 2 shots. And pretty much like 40 seconds of actual offensive power play time. Here they go to work again. They'll go strong right with Church setting it up. Keenan barking out the plays. Drag from Church. Shot punched away by the left arm of Aiden Walsh. Reset the 30. Inside to Shanks, knocked down by the active stick of Braden Lady. He's got it now. Shanks having some words with the official behind the play as he heads off. And now here's Riley Lowen. McIntyre back to Lowen. It's watched by Bobby Kidd III. Dixon on the far side, 7 on the shot clock. Backdoor look, oh, Lowen was wide open. Bobby Kidd III let him get behind him. And that was almost a glorious chance for Hot Rod.
And he blew a tire on the turf monster, and Riley Lowen just screaming for the ball, but couldn't bring in the handle.
Here comes this power play again, strong left with Keenan at the top. Mans, Keenan sets the pick. Church behind the net, one more. Oh, they had Walsh leaning the wrong way, but it hit the pipe. Keenan can't believe it.
Just a flash of what their passing can do, just precision again.
45 to go. Short side shot by Church, and that one almost fooled Walsh. To center with Matsuoka.
And it's getting chippy. After that shot, Leclerc clamps down on Church, gives him a couple extra whacks before they go change.
Calgary gonna have to get a shot off here before the quarter ends. Maye. Watched by Hosick, forced down the alley. Inside feed, McIntyre punched away by Chiliano. Now they can hold for final possession.
That's maybe Frankie's best save of the night. Point blank on a cut, back to the short side.
And they'll bring Walsh and go 5-on-5 here. And the penalty is out, so they go 6-on-5. 3 shots on the power play. Maye, 5 on the shot clock. They got to get another body out. Finally, they do. Cook from deep. Oh, that bouncer almost got past Chiliano, but he makes another key save to end the quarter. 10-6 Saskatchewan.
Smothering at the end there, just a little indecisive from Maye, waiting for the troops to come out. But the Calgary Roughnecks still in this game, down 4.
Shots 46-23 in favor of the Rush, who lead. It's getting physical, but you wouldn't expect anything less between these longtime Prairie rivals. Brad, Chantel, and myself will be back with fourth quarter action as you're watching the NLL on TSN. Welcome back to Calgary. Fourth quarter action coming up between the Rush and Roughnecks. Last year, Matt Hosick was named NLL Defensive Player of the Year, and he's continuing that fantastic performance. More on him. Here's Chantel.
Yeah, before the season started, Matt Hosick and his wife Jessica welcomed their first child, baby girl Peyton, in October. And I had a chance to talk to Matt, and I asked him how fatherhood changed him. And he said, I don't really think it's changed me in terms of my sweet side, but it's taught him a whole new level of patience, and he's learned to be more intentional with his time. Now, Jessica did have some post-pregnancy complications that landed her in the hospital for over 2 weeks away from Peyton. Matt said it was really hard on both of them, that it was a challenging time, especially right before the season, but they had a lot of family and support when they needed a hand. The great news is Jessica is better now, back at home, and on the way to making a full recovery. So congrats to Matt Hosick and Jessica, and we're obviously wishing her the best with her recovery. Teddy, Brad?
Thank you, Chantel. Peyton and Jessica, hope you're enjoying watching Papa do his thing.
His defensive unit has held the Calgary Roughnecks to just 23 shots through 3 quarters.
Hosick did miss the first couple games of the season, but rightfully so. But back playing it straight here in the defensive end for the Rush. They lead at 10-6, looking to go 7-1 here on the season. Here's Ryan Keenan, backing his way in. Up top, heavy shot, Haley. Nice save there by Aiden Walsh. Loose ball in the middle, and Walsh will scoop it and push it up ahead. Here's Griffin Hall. Oh, that's a tough pass, but a good handle by Cook. Hall will get it back, give it off to Tyler Pace, and head off the floor.
This is the famous gate for the Calgary Roughnecks in the fourth quarter, to have the offensive lefty like Tanner Cook.
We get a fresh 30.
like he did in the game against Vancouver, like we saw Dane Doby here for a generation do in this building.
Still a crazy fact that Dane Doby only had 3 assists from Christian Del Bianco on primary assists out the front gate. When you think it'd be a whole lot more. There's one that squeaked through Chiliano, but didn't get across the goal line. Fresh 30 game with Maye. Look at how far out this Calgary offense is. Pace on the backdoor cut. And that pass almost deflected in. Chiliano stumbling into his crossbar.
Yeah, like they're out to challenge. Saskatchewan's out to challenge to keep Calgary at bay, but that's when you should be able to send cutters through the middle, use their feet to their advantage like they've done a couple times tonight. That's what can backfire if you do pressure out that far.
Keenan trying to work inside. Swim move past Hendricks. Little twister short side. Good save. Walsh hugging that near pipe. And then Hendricks bobbled the outlet pass. Able to regain control and get across center. Gauthier and Boudreau saying hello to each other right on top of Chiliano's crease.
Round 2, anybody?
Pace. Carries across the top, gives to Cook. Gauthier vacates. McIntyre opens up, and Cook tried a cheeky bad angle bouncer, and Chiliano was wise to it.
You know, we were hypothesizing this morning if this game did get drugged through the mud, who were going to be the guys who would fight for their team, and neither one of us said Gauthier or Boudreau. But both those guys lit a spark.
Mans thought about it. Now Anderson with a heavy tuck on the stick fake, and it falls right to a Rush player. Now Mans, he'll take the shot. Penalty coming here is, I believe, Eli Salama threw Levi Anderson's stick away from him, and he's going to get a penalty here, and then a couple extra cross checks for good measure. And I think Salama's going to have to make his way to the penalty box. Hopefully he doesn't take any of that frustration out on our equipment.
And another tough one for Eli Salama. Fourth quarter, game within reach. And he still hasn't made his way to the penalty box. Pretty sure it's on 13.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be maybe Tyler Hendricks. Or maybe it's an in-home. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Maybe it did come from the bench then.
Which was weird, because didn't the near corner ref put his hand up and call that? Anyway, let's say it's on the goalie. So Rush to the power play. And a quick shot and a goal. 12 seconds this time. 3 for 3 on the power play, and they have 9 shots. We're 3 for 4 on the power play, 9 shots. Just incredible work, and Shanks has another twisting floater from 33.
I think when Saskatchewan goes to power play, you just have to give them like 15 to 30 seconds to make it fair for teams, because it's almost automatic that they score on their first shot. Absolutely paints that far pipe for Shanks. Second Rush player to get a hat trick tonight. They're just punishing the corners on Aiden Walsh. 5-goal lead restored.
And the penalty was called on Aiden Walsh for unsportsmanlike conduct, so he must have been the one that threw the stick of Levi Anderson out of his crease.
Yeah, we saw the stick go flying, so if you flick a stick or kick a stick out of the way, you're going to get an unsportsmanlike. And Naso has done his homework against Inacio. Inacio is 68% guy this season against everybody else he's faced, but having trouble with the Duke product here tonight.
Here come the Rush again, leading by 5. Church knocked to the turf. Mans with it now. Gives it off to Shank. We tried the floater again. That one didn't miss the far side by much. Now Anderson trying to get underneath. He does. A little far side, short side, and Walsh had to be careful with that one. After putting up 37 shots in the opening half, only 11 shots here in the second half of just under 14 minutes for the Rush. Here's Cook with a head of steam, trying to push it far side, and a good save by Chiliano, and Cook again bouncing off bodies after the fact. I think that fight might have just cooled the temperature here in this game. Good defense there by Leclerc. Keenan trying to get around the top of the man's screen. He'll shoot it through that screen, and then Mans finds the rebound and he scores. When things are going your way, they're just going your way, and the Victoria product has 4.
Lucky bounce right into the midst of Mans, who has 4 tonight. And he knows he got lucky. He's got a big smile on his face after this one. As the shot, rebound from Keenan, bounces off of Walsh. Watch the initial shot here from Ryan Keenan. Goes off the leg pads, right into the hands of Mans, and a quick tuck as he's running past the crease on the short side.
6th, 4th goal game of Mans' career. And when you're hot, you're hot. You're not many hotter than Zach Mans. Drexel grad. Now on a 10-game goal-scoring streak, dating back to last year. There's Keenan. Can he find another one? To Anderson, again with the swim move. Keenan, skip pass from a tough angle. That one rang off the iron.
Walsh slid over. Good feet by the goaltender.
Anderson to Church. Haley running distraction in the middle. Again, Shanks looking for that far side floater. He's open in the middle, gets it, and he tried it again. And a Church with a rebound shot, and Aiden Walsh is under siege.
Just an absolute shooting gallery down there. They've hit that magical 55, and they've still got 10 minutes to play.
They lead it here by 6. Here's Maye. Watched by Messenger. Gets a pick from Cook. Skips it to Hayden Dixon. Dixon bouncer on the short side. Doesn't make it on target. Bell bouncing towards center. And they'll call back over here as we head to break. 9:27 to go. Saskatchewan in complete control of this one. Every time Calgary shows some life, Saskatchewan has the answer. And they continue to roll here on TSN. To in part by Hotel Planner. Travel smarter with exclusive fan discounts at nll.hotelplanner.com. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Welcome back inside here in Calgary. Next week, Firewolves and Rock from Hamilton. And make sure you make a little bit of a note of this. The next 2 NLL on TSN games will be Saturday night matchups, so plan accordingly. Be myself, Pat Gregoire, Ashley Docking with the call from the fancy new renovated arena there in Hamilton. Should be a good one between the Firewolves and Rock. Don't forget, lots of lacrosse still left this weekend. Philadelphia and San Diego going on right now, and then 5 great games tomorrow night. There's Zawada with a good stick fake, gets inside, and then takes a heavy couple checks from Salama, and Salama's all fired up here.
Salama going after anything with a heartbeat right now. I don't think Josh Zawada is going to be one dropping the gloves.
Well, we didn't think it'd be Boudreaux and Gauthier, so you never know.
True.
Shot clock violation called on the rush. Salama brings it up, gives it off, and head for a change. Late man on is Braden Maye. Brett McIntyre has it in his stick right now. Gives it off to Tanner Cook. Cook watched by Hossack. Now Lowen trying to get to the middle of the floor. Pivots back. Top center. Pace, 8 on the shot clock. Shot on target, easily handled by Chiliano. And I know Pace would love a better angle for that shot. He just hasn't had it here tonight. Garland.
Now, we talk about Pace being streaky a lot, right? Like, if he scores in the first quarter or opens things up early, it's usually going to be a big night for Tyler Pace. He gets his goals in bunches, but they've been hard to come by tonight. And again, Josh Anderson telling us this week he needs Dixon and Cook and Pace as alphas to take an extra step and not pass up on shots and not defer.
Mans will head for a change. Freshman on comes Shanks. Near side, Levi Anderson. This time he goes with a spin move, and he tried to go far side, and Walsh stayed with him the whole way. That's a big save. Anderson's got a couple good moves in his arsenal, the swim move and the spin move, and he's deft at both of them.
Yeah, he's had some good looks tonight. He's definitely won a lot of one-on-one matchups, just haven't been able to convert yet and find the back of the net.
15 on the shot clock. Pace way out of the restraining line. Now to Maye. One-on-one against Bobby Kidd III on the far side. Skip pass. McIntyre. Great toe save. Shiliano. McClellan up ahead.
And those are deflating. Even when you get a good look, good east-west movement, Shiliano comes sliding across to take it away.
Shanks in the corner. Church and Keenan flashing through the middle. Defender without his stick. Inside feed. Oh, a good save by Walsh in tight on Zawada, who got loose. Hall up ahead. Follows. Gauthier, far side Cook. Dixon gets a pick there from McIntyre. Skips it to Cook. Wanted to pull the trigger, but couldn't. Jay all over him. Cook with a bouncer. Didn't make it on target. Bounces off the glass right to Mike Messenger. 6.5 to go. 6-goal game. Garland will head off for a change. Levi Anderson. Matched up with Isaacs. Gets a pick from Mans. Still work. Good stick there by Riley Isaacs. The young man's had a fantastic game here for Josh Sanderson out the back door.
Yeah, tough to take him out of the lineup when people start getting healthy with the way that he's played tonight and getting in lanes, pushing transition, Walsh to the bench for the extra attacker.
Delayed penalty coming up here against Saskatchewan. If they don't score here, it'll be Calgary's first power play of the game.
You know, that's 2 weeks in a row, right? Like Georgia, I don't think they had a single power play in that game.
It was 28 minutes to nothing at one point in that game against Georgia a couple weeks ago up in Edmonton. And
Calgary not getting any favors, having to scrap for everything this year.
Gauthier with a heavy shot turned aside by Shiliano. And I think this is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call coming up against Saskatchewan. And it's going to be Levi Anderson who will serve it.
Saskatchewan number 88. Minor penalty, delay of game, checking through the crease.
So a delay of game. He used running through the crease to gain an advantage on a member of the Roughnecks. So that's a delay of game call. So a power play opportunity here for Calgary. 41%. And they'll go up against the third best PK unit. Now watch Levi Anderson through the crease, barely, but still makes a defensive play, and he gets called for 2 or less. They'll go strong right. Pace will set it up. Good pressure there by Boudreau. Gets a pick from Dixon. Skip pass. Maye scores! Shiliano had a piece, but too much on it from Braden Maye. A much-needed goal, and they're within 5.
Put some life back into the barn. Just 14 seconds into the power play. And I'm always ready to say that was a shot for Tyler Pace. Look how wide open he is, but the smart to go one more. And Maye appreciates the dish. That pinball is off of Shiliano into the back of the net. 12-5.
My second of the game, 10th of the year.
Great sophomore season for Maye. Started off with some great two-man games with Tanner Cook to start the season. Haven't seen a ton of that tonight. I think teams have kind of figured that out and been able to take those cuts away from Maye when he does get away from Cook. But he's found 2 goals tonight. One was the opening goal that he batted in, and then a power play goal shot from the outside.
Anderson on the near side, working with Keenan. Gives it off to Church, now far corner Shanks. Up top, Keenan, quick release. Rebound to Church, oh, what a glove save by Aiden Walsh. Whatever you can do to stop it, and he does by punching that one out. Love to see a little urgency here in the final 4.5 from Calgary to try anything to get back into this game. Maye to Cook, couple screens, now near side Pace, back to Cook. Backside to Pace, they passed it back and forth 4 times and it almost paid off.
Accioni, though, good trail check on Tyler Pace to stay with him. He was cutting, he was open.
There's Zach Mann's 4-goal night. Skips it to Haley. One more. Church, backhander. Second backhand shot of the night for Church. And this one went wide. 8 on the shot clock. Up top, Mans. Keenan got to shoot it. And he will. Bouncer near side. Didn't miss by much. That was a good shot through the screen. But it didn't make it on target shots. 59-30 in favor of the Rush. And they lead it by 5. 3:45 to go. You're not going to want to miss the final few minutes here as you're watching the NLL on TSN. 3:45 to go, 12-7, Saskatchewan leading. Calgary will head to take on the Ottawa Black Bears next weekend, while the Rush will head to San Diego to take on the Seals. The Seals currently playing the Philadelphia Wings right now down in sunny San Diego, I'm sure.
It's always sunny in San Diego. Beautiful
That's
day.
not true.
Beautiful day. No, you've been
I've been there when
ugly
it's
day
rained.
in San Diego. Beautiful day in Calgary, though, as we get a look at the fans. 5-goal hole for the Calgary Roughnecks, who are 1-5, and Josh Sanderson, their head coach, not used to being 1-5, doesn't like being 1-5. Go throughout his career, all the championship teams that he's on. It's not used to being here. It's unfamiliar territory for Josh Sanderson, but a good learning experience for this group to how they're going to dig out of it.
Another shot by Pace, easily handled by Chiliano. From 2006 to 2015, Calgary led this series 26-10. And then once the Rush moved to Saskatchewan, it's been 14-11 in favor of Calgary ever since. And a lot of that has to do with what Derek Keenan has done with this organization since taking over. Here's Keenan. Defender without a stick is Isaacs. Keenan got to get a shot off. He does. Oh, he almost snuck that through the short side. But Walsh able to make another clean save.
Yeah, with unified standings, we're lucky we still get this matchup twice this year. I think we got it twice almost every year we're going to get these two teams twice just based on rivalry. But they used to play 3 or 4 times back when we had East and West divisions.
Cook tried to sneak that one 5-hole. Loose ball picked up by Messenger.
Still one of the best rivalries going.
Church in the far corner. 2 goals shy of 400 in his career. Mans working with Levi Anderson here in the near side. Back to Church. One more Mans. Heavy shot blocked there by Griffin Hall. That one stung. Victoria on Victoria crime. Mans splits. Backdoor. Look, what a pass! Mans to Shanks. And that was beautiful.
You know, Austin Shanks, you count up the amount of time he's had the ball in his stick tonight, it's very little. But when he does catch a ball, it's in and out of his stick in a heartbeat into the back of the net. Just a great off-ball lacrosse player. Beautiful finish, his 4th of the night, his 2nd tap in. He had one like that earlier tonight, too. Such quick hands for Austin Shanks. Give him 17 on the season.
He's got 4, Mans has 4, and the 2 of them alone are beating the Calgary Roughnecks. Saskatchewan, Brad, has won 6 games this year. Only 2 guys have game-winning goals for them. That's Shanks and Mans.
And if it stands right now, Brock Haley has your game winner, which would be the 8th goal. There's still some lacrosse left to go.
Backdoor look, bouncer, Keenan! And now it's just turning the favor of the Rush, and we're going to get some rough stuff as Salama gets in there with Church. And Keenan trying to protect the veteran. Jack Follows is in there as well. Lady trying to grab a guy.
Salama clearing bodies out. Just a frustrating start to the season for the Calgary Roughnecks. They were phenomenal first quarter in this game for a chunk, but the Rush, too much. Now, adding the stats in the late stages.
21 on the season for the captain, Ryan Keenan, his 2nd of the night. And again, just ball movement, Calgary not picking up checks, and Keenan was all alone on the backside. Here's Ferguson with the call.
Point.
And I think they might have just tossed Eli Salama. And we didn't hear the call from Blair Ferguson, but I'm going to believe it's penalty to Church.
Frustrations continue. Their coach thrown out last week, their captain thrown out this week, and emotions just boiling over for the Calgary Roughnecks to start this season.
Calgary number 13, Saskatchewan number 70, 2 minutes each, unsportsmanlike conduct. Still 4.
Rare Robert Church penalty.
And they're going to toss Garland and Salama as they get matching 2-minute minors with under 2 minutes to go, so their nights are done. It's not exactly a tossing, just an early shower. But Church is the one in the box. He gave Salama the extra punch after the Keenan goal. And Salama having a few extra words with some Rush players as he heads down the tunnel. And it's just kind of been that sort of a start to the season here for Josh Sanderson's crew.
And telling us that, you know, playing to see what part of the pieces of this team are going to be around for the future. A great young squad here, a lot of good pieces. We want to see who's got to compete and who's going to be the thing to build around as this season progresses and the future progresses, as Griffin Hall gets a high shot up on Naso.
I thought the dirtiness was going to end, but apparently we've got some more going. Now Messenger in the offensive zone going right at Griffin Hall. Chiliano to the bench. I wonder if they may put Thomas Kaisick in for the last 90 seconds or so. But Levi Anderson's just going to sit on this ball and let the shot clock wind down. As Messenger and Hall again come together. The referee's just making sure nothing happens there.
Messenger just needs to be on the floor for things to really just settle down. As soon as he rolls out, okay, we know nothing's going to be going on for the Calgary Roughnecks.
And they'll keep Kaisick in the bench. Chiliano's going to finish this one out.
Calgary number 6, minor penalty, roughing.
A roughing call on Griffin Hall. That'll kill the power play for Calgary. Well, this game will finish up even strength unless something else happens in the meantime.
61 shots on goal for Saskatchewan.
And they still got 75 seconds left to work here. We'll play 4-on-4, a little space for the fellas. Keenan, far side Zawada. Messenger. I'd expect Messenger just to hold on to this one and then maybe take it to the rack late. Messenger, roll back. Haley, shot, glove save. Loose ball. Picked up by Riley Isaacs. And Messenger, you know what? I'm just going to stay and play. It's like,
he'll play the final 2 minutes. He's like a cop. He's just out there for crowd control.
Near side, Brett McIntyre. The fans start to make their way to the exits here inside the Saddle Dome. Outside shot by Cook. Stick save by Chiliano. Probably his last action of the night. Well, maybe not, as he threw it away. Tried to find Boudreau running the floor. 20 seconds left in this one. Saskatchewan will improve to 7-1, stay atop the standings. And Calgary will fall to 1-6. 10 seconds left. Cook thought about it, takes it, scores. A low-to-low Wurmberger past Chiliano. And a bit of a consolation prize for the Roughnecks. They make it 14-8.
Crowd still making some noise here. But you go back through the history of this rivalry. Calgary and Saskatchewan, Calgary and Edmonton. It's not been often over the years that this battle, this rivalry has been taking place between the first place team and the last place team. And unfortunately for the Calgary Roughnecks, that's the position that this rivalry is in right now. Both these teams have won championships. Both these teams have been steady presences across this league. But not everybody can eat at the same time. And a rare time where Calgary's 14 out of 14 is Saskatchewan's 1 of 1 right now.
And that 8th goal from Cook will mean that Mans' 9th goal of the in this contest will be the game winner, so the trend continues.
Wow.
7 wins, 7 game-winning goals from Mans and Shanks. And another face-off win by Jake Naso. Messenger will hold on to it. And the Rush come into Calgary and assert their dominance over the Roughnecks with a 14-8 win.
A team full of clutch kings and a well-rounded performance. It just took them a few minutes to show up. Calgary can be proud of their first 15. but the next 45 was all Saskatchewan rush. We highlighted the transition off the top 10. They only scored one transition goal all night, but it was the big guns eating again tonight. Robert Church, Zach Mans, Austin Shanks, Ryan Keenan, all finding the back of the net for this well-oiled machine that has found another way to win. They've won high scoring, they've won lower scoring, they've won a physical one here. Had to come from behind to do it, but an elite performance by an elite squad.
Frank Giuliano was fantastic, wasn't busy, makes 24 saves on 32 shots. It wasn't Aiden Walsh's night, as he was peppered with 61 shots over the course of this contest. Time now for the 3 stars presented by TFL, and not bad if you're Austin Shanks.
Oh, what a night for Austin Shanks. We mentioned he doesn't need the ball on his stick for very long to be productive. 4 goals, 5 assists on the night, a couple tap-ins. Mans with 7 points, and Robert Church goals 397 and 398. Get your milestone watch out next week at San Diego for Robert Church.
Austin Shanks had 7 points. He's the first star of the game, and he's down with Chantel.
Austin, great game for you tonight. You had 4 goals, 5 assists. You were feeling it. Talk to me a little bit about your game tonight.
That's just our offense. Anyone can go any night. We just move the ball, work for each other. We just want to win as a whole.
Yeah, let's talk about that offense a little bit, because the power play was rolling. I don't know how many seconds it is. It's like less than 15, but what's working on the power play?
You know, Jimmy really prepares us during the week with film. And we just executed. That's all we did. We just executed our plays and worked hard.
And a lot of those goals come from Jake Naso dominating in the face-off dot. How great has he been this season?
Phenomenal. He's the best. You know, he's been so good, and he's so young. He still has such a ceiling. It's crazy. He's been awesome.
You guys are standing at the top of the standings right now. You know, you improved to 7-1. How good does it feel in that locker room right now?
You know, we're not really thinking about it. It's about the next game. Anyone can beat anyone in this league, so we're just worried about our next game.
All right, well, congrats on the win. Enjoy this one.
Thank you. Cheers.
Teddy, Brad.
Thank you, Chantel. Thank you, Austin. A couple of cliches from Austin Shanks at the end, but very poignant. You just got to focus on the next game, which will be San Diego. But this is a team that has to be feeling pretty confident about their way they're playing right now.
Yeah, and I buy what he's selling. I buy that this is a team that is not looking too far ahead, is not getting too high on themselves, because they know what this league is capable of. But, man, when we spoke to Jimmy Quinlan this week and talked about downsides this team, he was just nitpicking. Like, the only thing they wanted to improve on was goals early in the quarter or goals late in the quarter. They did not allow that to the Calgary Roughnecks tonight, so they cleaned that up, and their offense absolutely dominant tonight. So unselfish, so fluid. Everyone gets involved. Everybody eats. Everyone can shoot. A lot of guys can go one-on-one. There's just so many different weapons, and the Calgary Roughnecks really has their hands full with the Saskatchewan Rush team.
It was 3-0 at one point, and then Saskatchewan went on a 7-goal run. They were hitting pipes. Aiden Walsh was making some saves, but once they got the motors running and they started to see some shots drop, that's when we started to see this team at its best.
Yeah, and you heard Austin Shanks there shout out Jake Naso, because that was such a big part of the game, too. They scored 3 or 4 goals directly off of a face-off. Those are just absolutely momentum killers. Anytime Calgary tried to get anything going, 1-goal runs after that 3-goal run that they opened the scoring with, so they weren't able to dig any momentum up. They tried to fight, tried to suck some life out of the building a little bit, or give some life to the building, and the Rush just didn't allow it as they kept their foot on the gas pedal with a dominant performance through 3 quarters.
Calgary will face Ottawa next week. Saskatchewan will be in San Diego. But next week here on TSN, it'll be Oshawa and Toronto on Saturday night. Remember, Saturday night, not Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Myself, Pat Gregoire, and Ashley Dawkins will have the call. It was a great start for the Calgary Roughnecks, but after that, it was all Saskatchewan Rush. They pulled away late, but Frank Giuliano was phenomenal. Austin Shanks, Ryan Keenan, the whole offense was perfect. But then you look at the defense and the way they played, fast, physical, in your face. They didn't give Calgary any stiff once they jumped out to a 3-0 lead. It hasn't been the way Josh Sanderson wanted to go, but for Jimmy Quinlan and crew, couldn't ask for a much better performance. Saskatchewan wins it over Calgary. You've been watching the National Lacrosse League on TSN. Until we speak again, stay safe and be excellent to each other.